Guys, if we thought Into the Light was going to get any better, we just got officially announced that a brand new exotic will be coming out with the Into the Light update. And I am just ecstatic, because for a second we only thought that 12 brand new legendary fan favorite weapons were going to come back and that was going to be it. But we were wrong. Yes, a brand new exotic will be launching it. It's actually a bit of it is in the files as we speak in Light GG on the database. We actually have the name of the quest, which is called Past Remnant. So this will be a brand new exotic, and apparently it's been told to be a exotic shotgun listed on the files. So we're gonna get right into it. If you guys do not mind, I hope you guys can please subscribe us. We're trying to get to 35k, and thanks for all the support in the last couple days. It has meant a lot. I know Destiny has been drifting a little bit in the last couple of days with Guardian games and the whole timegation problem about the weapons and all that, but hopefully we can get back in action with this amazing update and then finally get into some of the hype and the final little moments until Final Shape launches. But other than that, if you guys do enjoy, please be sure to subscribe, and yeah, let's get right into it. Yes guys, with this brand new exotic coming out with Into the Light, we actually can read some of the steps that will be coming out with this new exotic. And we don't know too much about it, but let's just get into some of the steps that we do know. Some of it is redacted and there's nothing really to be seen. Again, it does show as an icon on Light GG as Sweet Business, which you guys know is one of the worst exotics in the game. But we don't really know what it should, quote unquote, look like. But other than that, we do know that it's going to be an exotic shotgun, and that you need to first start this quest called the Past Remnant by going to Shacks in the Hall of Champions. If you may or may not know, Hall of Champions is the new social space for this brand new Into the Light update with Onslaught and all the activities. Next, you're going to have to reach Wave 30 in Onslaught, which you guys probably won't be too hard to achieve. But remember that through every 10 waves per difficulty, the enemy density will escalate in this free activity. It's a wave defense mode activity, and there's going to be new areas to discover with, I think, 2 other map areas that will be coming out. But with Midtown getting sort of revamped with pyramid technology everywhere, you'll be able to progress through these waves by, upgrading defenses and gathering scrap, which is the new material in this activity. So reaching wave 30 shouldn't be too hard, but remember that you need to keep in mind that the enemy density and of course the difficulty of the enemies will continue to grow as you progress through every 10th wave. Now, going more, we do have that you need to equip the Super Black Shader. The Super Black Shader is going to be the shader that a lot of us fan favorite Destiny 1 lovers are really ecstatic about to return, especially you hunters. And for this Super Black Shader to be acquired, you will need to obtain all 12 of the Into the Light weapons. And as Bungie said recently, is that you need to also get the 2 key cards or key codes or whatever the hell they're called. It's in the Into the Light stream, as you can see, and you will need to get to rank like 17 or 16 with Shaq. So it's going to take a lot of time to progress with this character, so you're going to be sure to play a lot of Onslaught. And with that, we also need to keep in mind that only 6 of the Into the Light weapons will be dropping at launch, meaning the other 6 are going to drop later on as the weeks progress. Bungie previously stated that May 30th or around late May was going to be when we would receive all of them, and we got a lot of backlash for that this last week, and Bungie has changed it to late April. We should receive all the other 6 weapons. So I'm very happy that we will get this late a bit earlier, but it is going to be a bit more still time gated due to how the Super Black Shader is, again, time gated. But again, you need to receive all 12 of them, and it shouldn't take too hard, as you again can attune to these weapons as soon as you get them in the Hall of Champions, so you can get a better chance of them dropping with your quote-unquote god roll as you progress through the Hall of Champions and the Onslaught activity. Going forward, we have step 3 apparently hidden, so we don't really know what that step is, as well as step 5. But with step 4, you have to visit Shacks back with the Hall of Champions. And then with step 6, we are getting a wishful thinking exotic mission, which will take place in the last city. Now, this is actually pretty awesome because we weren't thinking that there was going to be a brand new exotic mission taking place with this activity and with the last city in general. As you guys know, we are getting a epilogue mission called Closer to the Heart, which will be releasing sometime in May, but it looks like we're going to get an exotic mission by like late April. So this will be even before the release of the brand new, awesome missions. We're getting another 2 missions, which is crazy. I cannot wait to see what that is all about. Then with that, we will return to Shaxx and we will get WISHMAKER'S BANE. Now this is crazy because again, it's kind of strange to come out of the bloom, but it is on Light GG, and there is some steps in the not steps, sorry, that was the steps, my apologies. There is some of perks that are in the database that is apparently tied to this exotic. Well, I believe because two of the perks are literally called Wishmakers and Wishful Thinking. So we're going to talk about it. Now, apparently this exotic intrinsic with Wishmaker's Blessing basically says kills with this weapon have a chance to trigger the elemental buff corresponding with your current subclass. That will be unbelievable because with this we will be able to use and equip any of the subclasses, Strand, Solar, Stasis, all that, and we will still amount to every elemental buff and every elemental debuff because the second perk with this weapon, or well, the other exotic perk says Twisted Reality, which is what it's called, and it basically says when having an elemental buff, the next precision shots apply will give the corresponding elemental debuffs, which is amazing because you'll basically be able to attune to any buff and any debuff from any subclass with this shotgun, which is already blasting it off the bulge with me, so we will never see conditional finality ever again. We have the Wishful Thinking perk, which basically says precision kills with this weapon grant a stacking damage bonus for a short duration, and Fate's Gambit, which activating your super grants a temporary damage boost to this weapon's shot after your super finishes. So it has to be a super where you still be able to use your weapon, so a lot of the supers that you may or may not love might not be there or may be there. So if you were a guy that really loved hammers or really loved Dawnblade, it looks like that super will not attune to this weapon. But if you're a fan of like Bubble or Well of Radiance, then maybe this will be really amazing because you'll be able to stack it with that exotic damage debuff and damage bonus with that weapon. So that is just beyond amazing, guys. Look at that, a brand new exotic shotgun coming out right the time of the Into the Light update, and with the Into the Light update being a free update after all, this will be actually a free exotic. How about that? But apparently it's being secret. We have an exotic ornament in the database right now that is apparently redacted, so we won't know really too much about it. But looking at that, we are finally going to get our hands on a brand new exotic shotgun coming out this next update.